A book older than humanity itself, it supposedly contains secrets of the universe, the origins of civilization, and knowledge hidden from the world for centuries. This is not just a story, it is the testimony of Helena Blavatsky, a pioneer who claimed to have unlocked the mysteries of the ancient stanzas of Dzyan. What did she discover in these texts? And how might they shape our understanding of science, philosophy, and spirituality? The stanzas of Dzyan are mysterious ancient texts that have captured the imagination of seekers of occult knowledge for centuries. These writings are said to be older than humanity itself, predating the formation of the earth and containing profound secrets of the universe. According to theosophical beliefs, the stanzas were passed down from ancient civilizations and contain the keys to understanding our own existence, from the origins of humanity to the evolution of cosmic forces. But where did these texts come from, and how did they arrive at modern spiritual teachings? The most significant link between the stanzas and the modern world comes from Helena Blavatsky, the co-founder of Theosophy. She claimed that the stanzas were revealed to her by spiritual adepts known as Mahatmas, who guided her in her search for profound cosmic truths. Blavatsky's work sparked the Theosophical movement in the late 19th century, and her teachings have had a profound influence on modern spiritual and occult traditions. In fact, many believe that Blavatsky's writings, especially those related to the stanzas of Dzyan, hold the key to unlocking humanity's deepest mysteries. The idea that these teachings are far older than anything we currently understand about human history is incredibly compelling. But how much of the story is fact, and how much is based on imagination? Whether one views these ancient texts as pure myth, an allegorical message, or the truth about humanity's origins, the allure of the stanzas is undeniable. Could there be deeper knowledge that has been hidden from us for centuries? Or are they simply the creative figments of one woman's vivid imagination? Only time will tell. Helena Petrovna Blavatsky was a person to behold. Born in 1831 in what is now Ukraine, Blavatsky's life was marked by mystery and mysticism from the beginning. She traveled the world extensively, spending time in Egypt, India, and Tibet, engaging in various spiritual traditions and seeking knowledge from sages and spiritual teachers. Her works were more than just travel, they were deeply spiritual pursuits that informed her philosophies and writings. It's fascinating how someone in the 19th century could be so immersed in these diverse cultures and practices, especially at a time when many of these teachings were considered unorthodox or even dangerous. Blavatsky's most famous encounter was with the Mahatmas, or great souls, who she claimed were spiritual adepts residing in Tibet. These mystical beings supposedly guided her in her spiritual life, passing on secret knowledge that would later form the basis of her writings, including the stanzas of Dzyan. Blavatsky's relationship with these Mahatmas is both remarkable and controversial. Some believe that she was genuinely chosen to receive this wisdom, while others believe that her experiences were the result of intense personal imagination or even fabrication. The fact that she managed to blend Eastern spirituality, occultism, and Western mysticism into a coherent belief system that later became Theosophy is undeniably impressive. It is easy to dismiss her work as fantasy, but there is something compelling about the idea of a woman challenging the norms of her time, blending science and spirituality, and offering a new perspective on the universe. Her writings, particularly The Secret Doctrine, not only influenced spiritual movements, but also introduced the concept of an ancient, hidden wisdom that would forever change the way we view our place in the cosmos. Whether you agree with her views or not, it's hard to ignore the profound impact she had on both spiritual thought and the cultural landscape of the late 19th century. Blavatsky remains a figure whose life and work provokes admiration and skepticism in equal measure. She was a pioneer to some and a fraud to others. Yet her legacy endures, continuing to inspire spiritual seekers to this day. The Dzyan Stanzas are not merely ancient texts. They are said to contain the secrets of human history and the cosmos, a blueprint of existence itself. They allegedly tell the story of Earth's evolution, from its primordial beginnings to the rise and fall of lost civilizations like Lemuria and Atlantis. These civilizations, according to the stanzas, were far more advanced than we are today, possessing knowledge and technology that transcends modern understanding. It's a tantalizing thought that humanity, in its current form, has lost access to the ancient wisdom that once guided our ancestors. Whether or not you believe in the existence of these ancient civilizations, the stanzas present an intriguing narrative that challenges everything we think we know about our origins. The stanzas also delve into the evolution of humanity, not just as physical beings but as spiritual entities. They speak of races of humanity, each more spiritually and intellectually evolved than the last. This idea is both fascinating and unsettling. Could our spiritual potential be far greater than we currently realize? And if so, why haven't we unlocked that potential? For those who believe in the stanzas, these questions offer both hope and mystery, suggesting that humanity's evolution is far from over and that we are on the verge of unlocking our highest potential. Furthermore, the stanzas of Dzyan are said to contain knowledge about mystical beings, entities beyond human comprehension, who have influenced our development. These beings, often referred to as the Watchers or the cosmic beings, are believed to have shaped the course of history and human progress, guiding us in ways we may not fully understand. While some see this as a profound spiritual truth, others argue that it is merely a metaphorical framework for exploring human potential. Regardless of how one interprets it, the idea that cosmic forces played a role in shaping humanity is undeniably compelling. In terms of visuals or animations, imagine illustrations of vast ancient cities like Atlantis or Lemuria, long submerged beneath the ocean, with glimpses of an advanced civilization that flourished eons ago. These images are not just about ancient history, they are about exploring a hidden, nearly forgotten aspect of human existence. The stanzas are not just relics of the past. They challenge us to rethink everything we know about who we are and where we came from. Whether or not you believe in their literal truth, the questions they raise about our spiritual and cosmic evolution are deeply thought-provoking and worth exploring. The stanzas may hold the keys to humanity's future if only we could decode their ancient wisdom. One of the most brilliant aspects of Helena Blavatsky is her connection with the Mahatmas, or great souls. According to Blavatsky, these highly advanced spiritual beings, often shrouded in secrecy, guided her throughout her life and imparted esoteric wisdom that would become the basis of her teachings. The Mahatmas are said to belong to an occult brotherhood, a group of enlightened beings who possess knowledge so profound that it can only be shared with those deemed spiritually ready. This idea of a secret society of wise and benevolent figures has captured the imagination of countless spiritual seekers, particularly those within the theosophical and occult traditions. It presents a tantalizing thought that somewhere, hidden in the folds of time and space, there are beings who hold the answers to humanity's greatest questions, and they are watching over us. What makes the Mahatmas particularly provocative is the fact that they supposedly operate outside the public eye, working quietly to guide humanity's spiritual progress from the shadows. They are not gods or deities, but rather individuals who have reached the pinnacle of spiritual wisdom and have chosen to remain in the background, subtly guiding those on the path to enlightenment. Blavatsky's own experiences with the Mahatmas are the stuff of legend. She claimed that they appeared to her in physical form, delivering messages that would later be woven into her writings. Whether one believes Blavatsky's accounts or not, the idea of such spiritual guidance is both comforting and unsettling. It suggests that we, as a species, may not be entirely alone in our quest for knowledge and truth. For some, the concept of the Mahatmas is a powerful metaphor for the potential within each of us to access higher wisdom. These beings are not necessarily separate from humanity. They may represent the higher aspects of human consciousness that we have not yet fully developed. Could we also evolve into spiritual beings who possess the kind of knowledge attributed to the Mahatmas? It's a thought that encourages reflection on our own spiritual potential. Yet there is also an undeniable sense of mystery and skepticism surrounding these figures. The idea that such secretive, all-knowing beings exist is both a source of inspiration and a subject of controversy. Are the Mahatmas real, or are they simply a figment of Blavatsky's mind, a symbol of the inner wisdom she believed was available to all? The idea of the Mahatmas presents us with a larger question. Is there a hidden, deeper wisdom that only a few have access to? Or is the hidden brotherhood merely a metaphor for the higher, untapped potential of humanity itself? The Mahatmas remain elusive, much like the stanzas of Dzyan, and perhaps that is part of the mystery. They exist at the intersection of the known and the unknowable. This blend of mysticism and reality is what continues to intrigue and fascinate those who are drawn to these spiritual teachings. While the stanzas of Dzyan and the teachings of Helena Blavatsky have inspired countless individuals in search of deeper spiritual truths, they have also generated significant controversy and skepticism. The very existence of the stanzas has been questioned, with many scholars and critics dismissing them as mere inventions or imaginative creations. Blavatsky claimed that the texts were ancient, predating human civilization, but there is little evidence to support her claims. Critics argue that the stanzas, like much of Blavatsky's work, were figments of her own mind, works of spiritual fiction rather than ancient wisdom passed down from lost civilizations. It's easy to see why some view her writings with suspicion. They challenge everything we know about history, science, and the human experience, offering an alternative narrative that seems far removed from conventional understanding. However, there are others who firmly believe in the authenticity of the stanzas, convinced that Blavatsky had access to hidden cosmic knowledge. For them, the stanzas are not only a source of spiritual insight, but also a roadmap to understanding the true nature and destiny of humanity. The teachings contained within them offer a vision of humanity that transcends the limitations of current scientific paradigms of vision, in which our souls are part of a grand, interconnected cosmic plan. These individuals point to the complexity of Blavatsky's writings and the profound philosophical ideas within them as proof of their authenticity. To dismiss them outright, they argue, is to ignore the possibility that there are truths far beyond our current understanding. Personally, it is impossible to ignore the allure of the stanzas, even if we do not fully agree with their claims. There is something deeply compelling about the idea that ancient wisdom exists, waiting to be discovered, and that humanity's spiritual evolution is part of a greater cosmic order. But it's also important to approach these teachings with a critical eye. The line between genuine spiritual insight and embellished narrative is often difficult to discern, and Blavatsky's own life was not without controversy. Some argue that her writings were heavily influenced by the spiritual movements of her time, and there are even accusations that she plagiarized parts of her work from earlier esoteric texts. It's crucial to acknowledge these criticisms and remain open to the possibility that Blavatsky may have taken liberties with her claims. The debate surrounding the authenticity of the Dzyan Stanzas and Blavatsky's own work reflects the broader tension between faith and skepticism. While some embrace her teachings as profound spiritual truths, others dismiss them as fantastical fabrications. Whether you believe in the stanzas or not, the questions they raise about the nature of knowledge, spirituality, and human evolution are worth considering. But as with any spiritual or philosophical system, it's essential to approach it with an open mind and a healthy dose of critical thinking. The truth, as always, probably lies somewhere in the middle. Despite being written in an era long past, the stanzas of Dzyan and the teachings of Helena Blavatsky continue to have relevance in today's world, especially in the context of modern debates about science, spirituality, and the origins of humanity. The stanzas present an alternative view of human history and spiritual evolution that challenges the materialistic worldview, offering instead a more holistic understanding of our place in the cosmos. In an age dominated by scientific progress and technological innovation, the idea that there is a deeper spiritual aspect to human existence is more relevant than ever. Could it be that our current understanding of the universe is incomplete? That there are truths waiting to be discovered through spiritual insights rather than empirical science? This question is particularly pertinent today, as more and more people are questioning the limits of conventional science and seeking alternative ways of knowing. The stanzas also raise profound questions about the nature of human consciousness and our potential for spiritual evolution. In a world increasingly obsessed with material success, the idea that we can evolve spiritually, that our consciousness can expand beyond the limitations of the physical world is incredibly appealing. As more people seek meaning beyond the confines of consumerism and instant gratification, Blavatsky's teachings and the stanzas offer a vision of humanity that is transcendent and interconnected with the cosmos. For many, this spiritual framework provides a sense of purpose and direction that is sorely lacking in the modern world. However, the stanzas' relevance goes beyond the spiritual. They also speak to modern concerns about environmental sustainability, social justice, and humanity's collective responsibility. The idea that ancient civilizations like Lemuria and Atlantis were destroyed due to their own self-destructive tendencies resonates with contemporary fears about climate change, resource depletion, and societal collapse. The stanzas present a cautionary tale. Humanity must evolve spiritually if it is to avoid repeating the mistakes of the past. This message is particularly urgent today, as we face unprecedented challenges on a global scale. The idea that spiritual wisdom can guide us toward a more harmonious and sustainable future seems like a hopeful antidote to the overwhelming crises of the modern world. Yet, while the stanzas offer a vision of hope and spiritual potential, they also raise uncomfortable questions about human responsibility. If we are truly on the cusp of a new stage in our spiritual evolution, what are we doing to prepare for it? Are we ready to embrace a higher consciousness? Or are we too caught up in the distractions of modern life to heed the wisdom of the past? Blavatsky's teachings and the stanzas force us to look within and question whether we are fulfilling our potential as spiritual beings. Ultimately, the relevance of Dzyan Stanzas lies in their ability to speak to the deepest questions of human experience, questions about our origins, our purpose, and our place in the universe. While some may dismiss them as mystical fantasy, others see them as a roadmap for humanity's future. Regardless of where one stands, the stanzas continue to challenge us to think beyond the material world and consider the possibility that there is more to reality than meets the eye. As we delve into the mysteries surrounding the stanzas of Dzyan, we can't help but be left with lingering questions. Could there be hidden truths in these ancient teachings, truths that have been deliberately hidden or lost to time? The stanzas suggest that the true history of humanity is much older and more complicated than we've been led to believe. They hint at ancient civilizations, cosmic wisdom, and spiritual truths that challenge everything we think we know. The idea that there may be knowledge hidden from the general public, waiting to be rediscovered, is both intriguing and unsettling. What if the stanzas are not just poetic musings, but actual records of humanity's spiritual evolution, encoded in a way we can't yet fully understand? The thought that such knowledge may lie dormant, just out of reach, is enough to make anyone curious and perhaps even a little anxious about what might be revealed. What if this knowledge were made accessible to everyone? Imagine what would happen if the teachings of the stanzas were fully understood and embraced by the world. Would this lead to a global awakening, with people coming together to unlock their highest potential, spiritually and intellectually? Or would it create chaos as humanity struggles to reconcile its current understanding of reality with the profound and expansive insights contained in these texts? It is a provocative thought. If humanity could access this deeper wisdom, would we be ready for it? Would we know how to use it wisely? Or would we be overwhelmed by the responsibility it carries? The potential for such a revelation to change the course of human history is immense, but it also carries great risks. Personally, the idea that the stanzas may contain hidden truths about our origins and potential is both inspiring and unsettling. It forces us to confront the possibility that we are not living up to our full potential, that there is more to reality than we can currently comprehend. At the same time, the very idea of unlocking this knowledge raises profound concerns. Would humanity use this for the good of all, or would it fall into the hands of a few who could manipulate it for power and control? This duality, hope and caution, surrounds the stanzas and all forms of hidden knowledge. The biggest question, perhaps, is this: are we ready for the truth? Would humanity be able to handle such revelations? The stanzas of Dzyan, with their cosmic wisdom and spiritual guidance, seem to demand a higher level of consciousness or readiness that we may not yet have reached. These questions echo throughout history, as humans have constantly searched for deeper truths, but the answer always seems to be just beyond our reach. As we consider the possibility of hidden truths in the stanzas, we must also ask ourselves, are we ready to uncover them? And if so, what will such revelation mean for the future of humanity? The answers, it seems, may lie within us all. One thing is clear: these ancient teachings contain much more than just indecipherable words. They offer a window into a hidden world where humanity's true potential and cosmic destiny may be waiting to be discovered. Whether you view the stanzas as ancient wisdom, mystical allegory, or a call to higher consciousness, there's no denying the profound questions they raise about our origins, our future, and the untapped potential within each of us. Could the answers to humanity's greatest questions be hidden in plain sight, locked away in texts that have stood the test of time? The possibility is both thrilling and frightening. If the stanzas contain even a fraction of the truths they claim to, they challenge us to look beyond the material world and explore a deeper, spiritual understanding of our existence. Now, we want to hear from you. What do you think? Could the stanzas of Dzyan contain hidden knowledge about our origins? Or are they merely a figment of Blavatsky's imagination? What would happen if humanity could access this wisdom? And are we ready for it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective on these ancient teachings and their relevance today. If you found this video interesting, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos.